The United States Air Force has a very special airplane called the B-2 Spirit. It's not like other planes. The B-2 is a stealth bomber, which means it's designed to be almost invisible to enemy radar. Its unique shape, which looks like a giant flying wing, helps it hide in the sky. This special ability allows the B-2 to fly deep into enemy territory without being detected. It can carry very powerful weapons and travel long distances without needing to land. For many years, the B-2 has been a key part of America's military strength, ready to perform missions that no other aircraft can. It represents a major technological advantage, making sure it can reach targets anywhere in the world. The importance of the B-2 bomber comes from its ability to conduct surprise attacks. Because enemies can't easily see it coming, the B-2 can strike important targets before they have a chance to defend themselves. This makes it an incredibly valuable tool for missions that require precision and secrecy. The plane is also very large and can hold many different kinds of bombs, including some of the most powerful non-nuclear weapons ever made. This combination of stealth, range, and firepower makes the B-2 a feared and respected aircraft. Its presence in the sky is a symbol of American power and its ability to project that power across the globe at a moment's notice. On June 21, 2025, the world saw just how powerful the B-2 could be. In a mission named Operation Midnight Hammer, these amazing planes were used in a major military strike. The operation was a surprise attack on 3 important nuclear sites inside Iran. These sites were located at Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. The goal of the mission was to destroy Iran's ability to build nuclear weapons, a concern that had been growing for a long time. This operation would become the largest single combat mission ever flown by B-2 bombers, showcasing their unique capabilities on a global stage and sending a clear message about American resolve. The B-2 Spirit is more than just an airplane, it's a complex flying machine that requires incredible skill to operate. Each bomber has a crew of just 2 pilots who must manage every aspect of the long and difficult flights. These pilots are some of the most highly trained in the entire US military. They spend countless hours in simulators and on training flights to prepare for missions like Operation Midnight Hammer. The aircraft itself is filled with advanced technology that helps the crew navigate, find their targets, and stay hidden from enemy defenses. Flying the B-2 is a demanding job, but it's essential for protecting national security interests around the world. The plan for Operation Midnight Hammer was incredibly complex and required perfect timing. The decision to strike was made by President Trump on Saturday, June 21, 2025. This came after advice from key officials, including Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who believed that talks about a nuclear deal with Iran were not succeeding. The mission would involve a long and dangerous flight for the B-2 bombers. They would take off from their home at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, a state in the middle of the United States. This central location meant the bombers would have to fly across the entire Atlantic Ocean to reach their targets. The journey was a marathon effort. 7 B-2 bombers began an 18-hour flight, heading east across the ocean. To travel such a great distance, the planes needed to refuel in the air multiple times. Huge tanker planes met the B-2S over the Atlantic and later the Mediterranean Sea to give them the fuel they needed to continue their mission. This was the longest combat flight for the B-2 fleet since 2001, a true test of endurance for both the pilots and the aircraft. The entire route was planned to avoid detection, using the B-2's stealth technology to its full advantage as they flew silently toward the Middle East, a ghost-like presence in the night sky. A key part of the plan was deception. Military planners knew they had to confuse Iranian defenses to ensure the mission's success. To do this, they launched a clever decoy operation. While the main group of 7 B-2S flew east towards Iran, other B-2 bombers took off and flew west over the Pacific Ocean. This was done to make it seem like the planes might be heading to a different part of the world, creating confusion and distracting enemy surveillance. This tactic was designed to split the attention of anyone watching, making it much harder to guess the true target of the American forces, until it was far too late. The operation was much larger than just the B-2S. In total, over 125 U.S. aircraft were involved. This included fighter jets, which were tasked with flying ahead of the bombers to make sure the airspace was clear of any potential threats. It also included surveillance planes that monitored the area and provided real-time information to the commanders. A U.S. submarine also played a critical role. Just before the bombers arrived, the submarine launched more than 24 Tomahawk cruise missiles at the Isfahan facility. This missile strike was the first part of a carefully timed sequence designed to hit one target while the bombers prepared to strike the others. The attack itself was a masterpiece of military precision. At around 2:10 in the morning, Iran time, the B-2 bombers finally reached their targets. The sky was dark, providing perfect cover for the stealth aircraft. Over a period of just 25 minutes, the 7 bombers unleashed their powerful weapons on the nuclear sites at Fordo and Natanz. The attack was swift and overwhelming. The pilots relied on their advanced targeting systems to ensure that each bomb hit its intended mark with incredible accuracy. The mission was designed to be a sudden, powerful blow that would leave no doubt about its destructive force, a true hammer falling from the midnight sky. For this special mission, the B-2S carried a new and very powerful type of bomb, the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, or MOP. This was the first time this weapon had ever been used in a real combat operation. The MOP is designed to destroy targets that are buried deep underground, like the reinforced nuclear facilities at Fordo and Natanz. Each bomb is enormous and weighs thousands of pounds. The B-2S dropped a total of 14 of these massive bombs on the 2 sites. The power of these weapons was meant to ensure that even the most protected parts of the nuclear facilities would be completely destroyed, leaving nothing behind. The most remarkable part of the attack was the element of complete surprise. Despite the large number of aircraft involved and the complexity of the mission, Iranian air defenses did not detect the incoming strike force. The B-2S, along with their fighter escorts, flew into and out of Iranian airspace without being seen. Not a single shot was fired at the American planes, and no U.S. aircraft were damaged or lost. This incredible success was a testament to the effectiveness of the B-2's stealth technology and the careful planning that went into the operation. The Iranians were completely unaware of the attack until the bombs began to fall. The results of Operation Midnight Hammer were immediate and devastating. The Pentagon later reported that the strikes caused extremely severe damage and destruction at all 3 targeted locations. President Trump announced that the sites were completely and totally obliterated. The mission had a very specific goal: to destroy the nuclear infrastructure without harming Iranian military personnel or civilians. According to U.S. officials, the attack successfully achieved this objective. The precision of the bombs and the careful selection of targets ensured that the damage was limited to the nuclear facilities, fulfilling the mission's narrow and specific purpose. In the hours after the bombs fell, the world began to understand the full scale of Operation Midnight Hammer. On June 22, 2025, the United States officially announced the mission, confirming the strikes on the 3 Iranian nuclear sites. The news sent shockwaves across the globe as nations reacted to the bold and powerful military action. The successful execution of the mission demonstrated America's willingness to act decisively to prevent nuclear proliferation. It also showed the world that the B-2 bomber remains one of the most capable and formidable military assets in existence, able to project power with unmatched precision and surprise. Following the attack, U.S. military forces in the region and around the world were placed on high alert. Leaders were concerned about the possibility of retaliation from Iran or its allied groups, often called proxies in the Middle East. The Pentagon made it clear that the United States was prepared to defend its interests and allies against any potential counterattacks. This period of heightened tension created a new and uncertain security situation in the region. The world watched closely, waiting to see how Iran would respond to the destruction of its most important nuclear facilities and the direct challenge to its authority. The mission is now considered a significant event in modern military history. It was a textbook example of how advanced technology, careful planning, and skilled execution can achieve a difficult military objective with minimal risk. The use of decoy B-2S, the coordinated missile strikes from a submarine, and the seamless in-flight refueling all came together to create a flawless operation. The fact that over 125 aircraft could operate inside hostile airspace without detection has set a new standard for air combat operations. Operation Midnight Hammer will likely be studied by military strategists for many years to come as a model of a successful long-range precision strike. Ultimately, Operation Midnight Hammer reshaped the geopolitical landscape. It sent a clear and unmistakable message about American red lines regarding nuclear weapons. The mission's success, particularly the first-ever combat use of the GBU-57 MOP and the perfect safety record of the U.S. forces, reinforced America's military superiority. While the long-term consequences are still unfolding, the night of June 21, 2025, will be remembered as the moment when the silent wings of the B-2 bombers delivered a powerful blow that changed the course of international relations. The world now waits to see what comes next in this new and challenging chapter.